Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you with a warped, frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees and begging for help. No securities, no stocks, no bonds, nothing but a miserable little $500 equity and a life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive.
Everybody knows this movie as an uplifting, heartwarming holiday tale, but if you look at it again, a very different kind of picture emerges. It's a Wonderful Life is a dark, disturbing fable about greed, exploitation, misery, and disappointment. It takes place in a time of depression and war in a little town called Bedford Falls, which is always teetering on the brink of ruin and dissolution. The main character is a man named George Bailey, whose life is defined by rage, anger, disappointment, and who is driven to the very brink of self-destruction. As a boy, George Bailey loses his hearing in one ear in an accident. He's abused and beaten by his alcoholic employer at the drugstore. He gives up his dreams of world travel and college to help out in his family's building and loan. He even postpones his honeymoon and gives away all the money he'd saved for it when there's a run on that financial institution.
Now, we can get through this thing all right. We've got to stick together, though. We've got to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, and I need money.
How am I going to live until the bank opens?
I got doctor bills to pay. I need cash.
I can't keep my kids on faith. I've got to have...
How much do you need?
Hey! I got $2,000. Here's $2,000. This will tide us over to the bank reopen.
Even though George does marry the girl of his dreams, played by Donna Reed, they have more kids than they can handle, and they live in a broken-down, dilapidated old house.
Why do we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong everything's wrong. You call this a happy family. Why do we have to have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Why, ask your mother.
But then, on the day before Christmas in 1945, he's involved in a scandal. Even though he's innocent, it could ruin his career, destroy his life, and everything that he's worked for.
Where's that money, you silly, stupid old fool? Where's that money? You realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison.
As he's contemplating ending his life and wishing he was never born, he's visited by a bumbling, sweet-natured angel named Clarence who grants his wish and shows George what the world would look like if he'd never been born. Bedford Falls wouldn't even be Bedford Falls, but a hell on earth called Pottersville.
Clarence! Clarence, you! Stand back!
So George decides that he wants to live and runs home to his adoring wife and lovely children.
Yay! Hello, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, George!
Merry Christmas, movie house! Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan!
And the good citizens of Bedford Falls rally around George Bailey, and just as he so often rescued them in their hour of need, they get together and save him.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
And this, I think, is a secret to this movie's enduring appeal. Every year around Christmas time, we can gather around the television and watch it with our friends and families and go visit a lovely place called Bedford Falls, a small American town where everyone looks out for one another. It's a welcome, if temporary, respite from the greed, exploitation, and meanness that we face every day here in Pottersville.